This is London.
For millions around the world, that signature tune and these 5 beeps say Britain as much as Big Ben or Buckingham Palace. But the British Broadcasting Corporation doesn't always mean the Queen's English. Its world service transmits in 43 languages on 43 separate services
Programa do Serviço Brasileiro da BBC de Londres.
to more than 150 million people around the globe, from the streets of Amman to the markets of Mogadishu to the cafes of Kandahar. In many countries, the BBC has even more listeners than the local radio stations. And there's no place where it's more popular than in Afghanistan,
BBC,
where an estimated 80% of the population tunes in. That's why in this country, where many pray 5 times a day, the BBC has become known as the 6th prayer. Perhaps that's because when everyone else abandoned Afghanistan, the Beeb stayed right where it was. During the darkest years, the BBC's William Reeve often found himself the only Western reporter in the country, which was an interesting thing to be.
Once that I was up in the north of the country, and somebody met me, and they said, "Oh, you're William Reeve, are you?" And he said, "I thought you were sort of tall and handsome and all that sort of thing." And I said, "Well, look, I hope I'm not too much of a disappointment when I meet you." But
The glory of radio.
They have this wonderful image of the BBC.
It was that wonderful image that allowed Reeve to get back into Afghanistan when the air war began last fall. While hundreds of reporters camped out in the north of the country, Reeve was on his way to the capital.
We've reached Kabul at last.
Like most BBC reporters, Reeve speaks the local language. Within hours of his arrival, he was broadcasting to London and to the world on both radio and television.
Otherwise, there's not much people can do, but where do they go? All they can do is stay at home and hope for the best.
From his tone, you'd hardly know he was in a war zone. A massive American bomb had hit the house next door and almost turned the BBC into collateral damage. Reeve's reaction? True blue BBC.
It was quite alarming. Quite alarming.